Every day, MCPS welcomes more than 162,000 students to its schools. And we work hard to provide the instruction, services, and opportunities our children need to be successful. We do this through our operating budget, which pays for the staff, resources, and materials our schools need. It is important that our community understands how the MCPS operating budget is funded, how the money is spent, and what that looks like in your child's school. About 63% of the MCPS budget comes from Montgomery County, while almost 30% comes from the state of Maryland. Nearly 4% is provided by the federal government. The remaining 3% comes from our enterprise, special revenue, and fund balances. When enrollment grows, MCPS receives additional funds. But those additional dollars do not cover the full cost of providing an education to a larger number of students. So how is the money spent? The vast majority of the MCPS budget goes exactly where you would expect, into the classroom. For every dollar in our budget, more than 80 cents is spent on instruction, including teachers, staff, instructional materials, Chromebooks, and program supplies. About 14 cents of every dollar goes to other services for schools like bus transportation for more than 100,000 students a day, and employees who keep our buildings clean, safe, and well-equipped. Less than 3 cents of every dollar is spent on system-wide support, or what some people call central services. The remaining 3% supports our enterprise funds, like our food service fund. Percentage-wise, MCPS has one of the smallest central services allocations in the state of Maryland. But this small, hardworking team does crucial work, including hiring, teacher and staff training, and providing direct support and oversight to our 211 schools. It's important to understand that education is a people business. That's why more than 90% of the MCPS budget is spent on salaries and benefits for the outstanding educators, support professionals, and administrators who serve our students. So what does this look like in our schools? MCPS provides staff and resources to schools using formulas that are based on the school's enrollment and the needs of its students. As you would expect, larger schools will get more staff. For instance, in elementary school, we have a class size guidelines of 24 to 28 students per class, depending on the grade level. Let's say a school has 96 third grade students. That school would receive 4 fourth grade teachers. But if third grade enrollment grows to 120 students, 4 teachers just won't be enough. So that school will be given a 5th teacher to keep class sizes at 24 to 28 students. In this case, the class size would be 24. But our budget formulas also take into account the needs of students. For instance, class sizes in kindergarten through grade 5 are lower in elementary schools that serve a greater number of students living in poverty. And schools that have more emergent multilingual learners get more staff to make that happen. To see how this works, let's take a look at 2 elementary schools that both have about 600 students. School A has a relatively low percentage of students receiving free and reduced price meals, or FARMs, which is an indicator of poverty. The school also has relatively few students who receive English language development, or ELD, services. School B has about the same number of students, but has a much higher percentage of students receiving FARMs and a much greater number of EML students. As you can see, School B receives about 20 more positions than School A. This includes additional classroom teachers who help keep class sizes lower, academic intervention teachers who provide focused support to students who are struggling, additional ELD teachers to help a larger number of students learn English and keep up with their academics, and additional educational assistants, also called paraprofessionals, who work directly in the classroom. It works similarly in middle and high schools, too. Staff is provided to schools based on enrollment and need. This often means that schools with higher poverty have 15 to 20 more positions to lower class sizes in core classes and to support students with interventions needed to improve achievement. There are other ways that schools are provided staff and resources. For instance, special education staff is assigned based on the individualized needs of students. Also, a school may house a choice program and will receive additional staffing and resources. This is just an overview of a process that happens throughout the year and involves MCPS staff, parents, students, and community members. Visit the MCPS website to learn more about the operating budget and how you can get involved in ensuring our schools have the resources needed to serve all students.